Welcome back to Beards and Brews, everybody. This week's review is going to be Men in Black. Boy, oh boy, fellas, this movie holds up.
Now, this movie, it came out quite a while back, still holds up. Some of the CG is definitely dated, but the practical effects and a lot of the CG still holds up because it's not overused.
To be honest, there are a lot of really good miniatures in this movie, and you can't quite tell, and that's what makes them amazing. I think the only thing that kind of flubs up is that alien at the beginning, Mike, or whatever.
Whenever his little tentacles are like... Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I'm just like, passable, whatever.
Yeah, he's very cartoony.
So is that dude's fucking...
Okay, Mikey. Yeah, Mikey.
Mikey.
Fucking Jerry Garcia.
God.
But did anyone else wonder why this fucking movie started with a suicidal dragonfly?
I think it's a metaphor, maybe?
I just thought, opening credit scene, you want to focus on the bugs. This whole movie's about a bug. We got a bug here.
Like, I thought there was, some kind of connection, but whatever.
It's a
good way to,
foreshadowing.
At that point, whatever, because, the score is fucking phenomenal. Danny Elfman at it again. It almost has, a Mars Attacks vibe or whatever, but...
Definitely has a Mars Attacks vibe through the entire thing.
But I dig this one better. It's just, it's spooky, kind of, as his stuff usually is, but you know what I'm trying to say.
It's got a sense of urgency. Every time that his music kicks on, there's a build.
It's got a build, but that fucking bass line is groovy. Holy shit.
It slaps.
Slap out that bass line.
It's a bop. It's a full-on bop.
It's fucking good.
Was anyone else confused why, an alien sneaking across the border would choose the guise of an illegal alien?
I mean, he's full of jokes. He's the comedian.
At least Kay could have acknowledged that and be like, I get it. It's funny. But he could have been anybody. He could have been a U.S. citizen. He could have been anyone. He's like, you know what I want to be? I want to be an illegal alien. To sneak into the U.S.
Maybe he was went to the store, and since everybody was leaving the planet, that was the only head left in the store. It's
just going to the head store. Al Snow stole all the rest of them.
Whatever. They had this intergalactic fucking pawn shops. Whatever.
Show me the real guns, or I'll blast you with my dildo gun.
Yeah, monk. Get at me.
Oh, that's who that guy is.
Yeah.
I was like, I know this guy from somewhere, but from somewhere where he looks less fucked up.
He's got he's got a silly last name like Schloob.
But pretty much what we got here, just to open the whole movie up, we got a truck full of, as far as we know, illegal aliens coming across the border, getting hauled by what do they call them? A gopher, a raccoon, what do they call them?
Coyote.
A coyote, that's it. And they get pulled over by Border Patrol. And
Border Patrol.
And these guys have to be bored out of their fucking minds because, everybody from Border Patrol is there to stop these guys.
Fucking 6 cop cars are sitting on the hoods like it's some fucking, shit.
Got a pose for you. This is law enforcement. This is the long dick of the law.
It's those guys that have been graduated way too long to be hanging out in a high school parking lot, but they still do.
No,
you got aliens in that van? Nope. Be cooler if you did.
Yeah, man.
It is exactly that.
And he has that same fucking attitude. He's like, you just went fishing or whatever. Sure you did. All right, open up.
Let me see your catch.
Let's take a look at your catch.
He had some jokes, man. He's he opens the doors, see all these illegal immigrants. He's like, they're throwing these back.
Yeah, right about then is when we have Tommy Lee Jones and old dude. They show up. He and Kay.
Donkey Kong.
Yes.
Oh.
Now this is where we get introduced to Tommy Lee Jones' character, the main character, one of the main characters, and this is also where the viewer at home should start going, okay, this is the guy, he's been here X amount of time. Now, I know I'm jumping ahead, but this movie takes place in the span of 3 or 4 days.
See, I was under the impression that this scene took place a little while longer before the rest of the movie. Because this is I would assume that this is in Texas or Arizona, a place like that, and then the rest of the movie takes place in New York City.
Well,
Oh,
they got
yeah.
the car that shoots super fast. Remember, they went from what, Detroit to Seattle or some shit.
What?
Insert Elvis song. Do 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 do. And then boom, they're back in New York.
Yeah, they had a full
What?
tank of gas. They're wearing sunglasses.
And it's dark outside.
Hit it.
But no, the rest of the movie takes place in New York City.
New York City.
I mean, I kind of get that because, like, if you think if that takes place very close to when like Jay was running down that one dude, that means he decommissioned Kay decommissioned his partner. Then 4 days later, he retired.
Yeah, and I just think there's a lot more time space between this scene and the rest of the movie than just 4 days.
Yeah, but see, I think you got to have a partner, and so he kind of semi-trains Jay, and then Jay gets his partner, and he decommissions himself. Like one group is out and is replaced by the next group.
So hires Jay and the kind of creepy necrophiliac, kind of like morgue lady. Like, hey, go.
Yeah.
Have a necromancer. See you later, kid.
Ooh, necromancy.
I don't know, she can get it.
Okay, I got something to say about her way later down the line, though.
All right.
Well, speaking of getting got, they pull over that van, right? Open it up. There's an actual alien on board with these illegal aliens, and they take him aside and like, hey, pal, what are you doing? Because they're buddy buddies, right? Like, they know Mikey. He's probably been around the block or whatever.
Yeah, they're used to dealing with these alien folk. He's one of the regulars. They're like, you're breaking treaties. He's like, oh man, it's just one treaty. He's not. I'm trying like 7. He's like, oh man.
Oh, you got me.
One of the border patrol. Oh man, you got me. I ain't got no kids.
That's exactly what I was thinking, yeah.
And then the fucking guy comes up over the ledge, and his little eye flips back and sees him, and he flips shit. This is where I got really confused. Why is he mad? Like, he's looking at 2 human beings right in front of him, yet another one sees him, so he has to go insane?
Well, I think, like, he's supposed to be in secret, so when that guy spots him, he's like, well, the only thing I can think of doing to, like, alleviate this situation is just murder.
Yeah, but he's aware of what the MIB do, so he would know.
They're, like, sort of on the same, wavelength as far as what they are. A random human comes around and sees what this guy is, who knows what they're going to do. They might try and probe him in the butt,
This is one of the weak points for me in the film. I get why it had to happen because the movie's got a movie, and it does turn into a really cool scene because the alien charges at him, and right before he jumps on him, and the old guy can't get it up. He's like over there fumbling with his gun. Like, come on, this don't normally happen. The body's willing.
Pulls out his gun, just.
The mind is willing, but the body is weak and spongy.
But I give it a pass because like later on, like we meet some aliens at like MIB Customs or whatever. It's like, hey, don't touch him. He's grouchy. Maybe it's like the same thing. Maybe they're just all just hot tempered.
I think
Maybe.
that's racist.
But then he shoots him with that dildo gun, and he fucking turns into like the inside of a porta potty, that blue liquid stuff.
Yeah, he does. That's perfect. Like he just fucking evaporates.
He's all goo.
He's just like bluff all over the fucking place, and then he's like, I need a cleanup crew. And Tommy Lee Jones is really doing an exceptional job in this role. I want to give him a shout out in this role. Tommy Lee Jones fucking nails it through this entire.
He really kind of treats this movie like it's a real movie.
Well, first, that's kind of what I was thinking because he treats his character as if he's like an intergalactic Texas Ranger.
Yeah. Very No Country for Old Men or something.
Yeah, but less of him sitting on his ass eating breakfast all fucking day.
Slightly less.
Yeah, he knocked it out of the fucking park in this role. Now, when the cleanup crew came in, though, I thought that was really cool because it almost looked like an 80s fucking music video for maybe like Devo or something because they jump out in their little biohazard COVID-19 fucking don't get infected suits. Like they're just but they're like burning the cactuses and shit.
Yeah, got to torch all of that nasty stuff off because that's evidence.
Yeah, it's all Mikey.
Mikey doesn't like it.
Oh,
Mikey did.
Mikey did nothing wrong.
Technically, he 7 is wrong. He broke 7 treaties, intergalactic treaties.
Well, all right, Mikey did something wrong.
A lot of somethings.
Well, I mean, good old D didn't do anything right. He didn't react in time, so you know what? He's got to be put out of his misery. So Kay takes him out back and puts him right up.
Yeah, just
With
blends
the
his whole
flowers.
Wait, what?
in my notes, every time that happens, I have in asterisks blink. So we can just use that as code word for memory erase.
Neuralized.
Bijou.
But before that, we have this little sit down, and old dude's like, they're beautiful, aren't they? Stars. And you have like this little scene, and he's like, yep, they're beautiful. All right. Now you gotta forget everything that you know.
You have this bittersweet moment, and you kind of have this idea of like, man, they've probably been through a lot. Like you find out that Kay's been at this agency since the very beginning. So who knows what they've gone through? Like who knows what stories they have to tell? And just like that, it's all gone.
I was kind of amused by the fact that, that comes up later, that Kay's been here since the get-go, yet this dude was fucking like 30 years older than him.
Well,
and why isn't Kay running shit if he was the first one on the job?
Well, I would assume that that D was also one of the first ones. There were 9 of them, right?
I guess so, but he looked like the farmer whose field he crashed in.
I'm imagining Kay is probably like 18 or 20, going by the picture, right?
Yeah, because I love how Will Smith immediately points him out, like, oh, you gave the tall man flowers.
And then D is probably like, I don't know, fucking 10, 15 years older. Maybe
He's one of the law enforcement that, was there. Whatever.
Well, I'm imagining they're starting out, A, B, C, D. I don't know, what number's K? I'm not going through it, but K is probably not too far down the line.
Yeah, but J comes before K.
Oh, you're right. Maybe they skipped that one. Just to make things convenient.
Fucking order to this. It doesn't matter.
Then Zed's all the way at the end,
Yeah, what's his name? Zeke?
I don't know.
Zachary. Oh wait, that makes sense. Never mind.
So we cut to New York, and we get like the bad guy, and he's just this dude with a bunch of fucking earrings, just trashy looking dude, and he's running down the street, and you got these fat cops like, we're gonna get you, but they're not gonna. And undercover Will Smith, and he's like, I'm fast as shit.
And he really chases down the lead singer of The Offspring.
Oh, I was gonna say lead singer of Muse. That's good. All right, but I love how every beat cop is just like some fucking donut rolling fat ass dude. Like, hey fella,
what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, but the other guy, the bad guy, the fast guy, he is really serious about parkour. So he's just hopping and skipping and jumping all over the place, rolling up walls and doing everything that he can to get away from Will Smith.
He literally jumps off a bridge.
Yeah, that's true, and he also climbs the Guggenheim Museum. That's for all those architecture people out there.
Yeah, just goes like straight up it. Then he does like a Jesus Christ pose swan dive off the ledge.
Soundgardens it. Yeah, all right, I got you.
But kicking back while Will Smith is chasing, dude jumps off this bridge, and Will Smith is like, "Oh shit, I gotta chase him." So he jumps off and lands in this tour bus, and everyone's like, "What?" And he's like, "Chill out, it's New York. It's raining black people."
I wrote that quote down. Will Smith is full of quotes. Like,
yeah, it's really good.
Like, this whole movie is full of good stuff. Like, I'm surprised. Like, it did really well, but I'm surprised it hasn't stayed in pop culture like other sci-fi movies from the 90s and stuff like that.
Well, they keep bringing new Men in Blacks out. Like, they just had Men in Black International, which I think bombed.
I think it broke even, but nonetheless, like, nobody wanted it.
I'm going to imagine it bombed because I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's got Thor and the other woman from Thor 3. Thor. Liam Neeson's in it because he's got nothing better.
In black.
Thor in black.
So Will Smith chases down the baddie, and he's got him up on the ledge of a building. He's like, "You don't understand. The world's going to end. When he gets here, he's going to kill everyone." And he's like, "All right, man, whatever you say." And the guy blinks sideways, and Will Smith's like, "The fuck?" And then he T-cross poses and jumps to his death.
Watch that ledge. Watch that ledge.
He didn't watch the ledge.
Yeah, in hindsight, he didn't watch the ledge.
Yeah, and then we hard cut to Vincent D'Onofrio in a fucking amazing role.
Dude,
the Edgar role.
This is up there with fucking Private Pile from a Stanley Kubrick movie, Edgar is fucking phenomenal. Like, every time he's on screen, he is superbly entertaining.
He does
It's
a really
ridiculous.
good job.
Like, the fact that he's playing an alien wearing a human skin for a suit.
And the fact that his mannerisms convey that beautifully is...
And not only that, but over this 3 or 4 day period, his Edgar suit starts to rot. And his acting kind of goes with the flow. Because by the end of it, like, his lips are hanging off his body, and he's, like, flubbing all his words and stuff, trying to talk to this fucking skin mask.
Hey, this guy had a hat, and I kind of need a back. It's so fucking good.
Edgar, your skin is hanging off of your bones.
And then he pulls, is that better? So good.
It is.
I think this movie is as good as it is and has aged as well as it has because they picked actors who, for whatever reason, whether whether it was because Steven Spielberg was attached or whatever, but they went out there and they fucking sold it. Each character in this film sells it. When someone is on that screen and they're doing their part, there is no half-assing. Even like the extras, the people who are just there, like the best of the best of the best, sir. Those fucking candidate recruits, they fucking sell it. You know what?
Yeah, you're right.
This movie is a perfect storm. I've used this term like maybe 3 or 4 times. It's lightning in a bottle. That's what it is. When you go into a project with a great idea and you execute it fantastically, and it's not something that's expected to be a blockbuster or anything, but it finds an audience and it just fucking explodes, that's what it is.
I think it's because it almost has like that suspension of disbelief to the point to where you can buy it. When you watch this movie, they press the envelope of what's believable, but they do it in such a way that you're on board the entire time.
It's got to be Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith, because Will Smith is like the fish out of water, but Tommy Lee Jones is such a straight man in the, like, kind of like a cop authority figure. Like, he's been around the block so many times. This stuff is bewildering, but he knows how to fucking take care of business.
Yeah, like, you'll have Will Smith have a moment where he's like, the fuck is this? And he's like, oh, it's this, don't worry about it, move along, kid, let's go. And then it's like, alright.
And how he plays it makes these great scenes in the movie. Like, he's so straight, he's so knowledgeable about everything, nothing phases him, but when he learns that there's a bug on the planet, he's obviously shook.
Yeah, and the fact that he is portraying himself as so knowledgeable and so, well-versed in what he's doing, as the audience, as you get a question, when he gives you that exposition, he's giving it to Will Smith, but he's also giving it to you, the audience, and he does it in such a straightforward way that you go, okay, let's move on, because I, too, like Will Smith, want to see what's next.
That's how it's grounded. It works fantastically.
It is a brilliant exposition machine. Brilliant.
But you know what could make it better? Two-headed Johnny Knoxville. Am I right, fellas?
What? What are you talking about?
He's in the second one.
Oh, I didn't see the second one.
Hey, good for you. Yeah, like 1 and 3, that's where it's at.
Fucking Edgar. Oh my god, he's this redneck piece of shit guy, woman abuser. Yeah. And he's like, oh, the only thing that pulls its goddamn weight around here is my truck. And as soon as he says that, this fucking spaceship crashes onto his truck. And I love the fucking fact that he walks outside straight-faced and goes, figures.
But yeah, he walks out and he's like, keep your ass in the house, Beatrice. I'll be back.
No. He says something much more juvenile, which made me laugh. It's like, get your big butt back in the house.
And I love that whenever it goes over to the hole, he's got his little shotgun and he looks down and you don't get to see the alien yet. And it's like, put the weapon down. He goes, you'll take this weapon from my cold, dead hands. He goes, okay then.
Like how he had an accent. Okay.
Yeah. He just like rips him down into the crater, and then the next thing you see is alien walking out with an Edgar suit on.
Yeah, Deadgar, whatever.
Anyone seen Vincent D'Onofrio, he sells this in the way that he's smushing his neck down to create a double chin, and he always leaves his jaw at a left-facing cant. He has his head tilted to the right. He seems deformed, and he acts like he has one leg that doesn't bend.
And one arm that doesn't cooperate.
Yeah, and it's kind of doing its own thing at all times.
Well, like he's used to having 6 appendages. Now he only has 4. He doesn't really know how to use them.
It's fucking great. And the first thing he does, he walks in the house, and his eyes are sagging, his cheeks are bulging.
Hang tight. No, the first thing he does is assume that the door was automatic, and he just walks right fucking into it.
Oh, true. And he's like, "What? Manual doors." And he gets inside and he goes, "I want sugar." She's like, "What? Sugar?" And she just hands him the sugar, and he's like, "And water." And she puts it up and goes, "More."
Like,
She pours all of it, and then he chugs it. Edgar.
this came out like what 20? How many years ago now? 23 years ago. Like
Yeah.
I still reference this scene like once a month, just like sugar and water. Give me more.
So
It's like
good.
it's from sugar, and the last one he's just like. She's like, come on, more.
You know what this is.
You know what this is. Just give it to me.
And I feel bad because this woman's been abused so much. She's just like, okay, this isn't weird at all. It's just tonight's just a sugar night.
Bones. And he grabs the back of his head, pulls it like a top knot, and his fucking skin is peeled up from his teeth, from his eyes. He looks a mess. And he just goes, "Is that better?" She's
Better. Yeah, it's a sight gag, but like there's so many sight gags in here, but they're all worth it.
Yeah, it's great. And I love that he just chugged this big thing of water and sugar, so when he turns his head, you just hear the slosh from whatever's in between the cockroach and the fucking skin. Just
It's still working its way down.
yeah. This movie's a blast, and he's a big part of it.
The next thing we see is Will Smith getting grilled by some of his superiors down at the NYPD. Of course, none of them believe what they're telling him, but we get a medical examiner lady comes in and is like, "I believe you."
Also, I'm very attractive. And she turns around and walks out, and you see someone in the black suit go, "Hey, are you the doctor?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Look at this."
It's the oldest trick in the book, and it works every fucking time. Have you seen one of these? He's got his pants down.
Yeah.
Oh, just boop, just neuralized.
Let me show you a little Tommy Lee.
Bill Cosby, see, he had that.
Oh,
You want to see a Joe Pudding Pop look right here?
oh, like Bill Cosby was the guy, the illegal alien or whatever. He just burst in the fucking pudding.
Oh no! Just
That's an idea.
Yeah, they're doing like a good cop, bad cop routine against Will Smith or whatever, and the bad cop's obviously the fucking chunky dude. You just give him a hard time. It's like, hey, I bet you threw him off that fucking roof, didn't you?
he's like, "Why don't you get your ass on a treadmill, you pudgy bastard?"
He's like, "Hey, if you were half the man I am, then you wouldn't have let that guy get away." He goes, "What you talk about? I am half the man you are."
Literally.
Yeah. And I love how like his superior, like on the other side of the room with like the little files, they're just like, well, you know,
You ain't wrong.
he's got you there, yeah.
Now, this is something I want to discuss because it keeps coming back up and back up and back up. This movie, like when you see the cover and the way it was marketed, it's marketed to children, like a family movie. This movie's language, other than fuck, has just about every word in it.
I did notice that actually. I didn't remember there being as much dick and shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of cussing in this film, but it's done, I won't say tastefully because it's cursing, but it's done wisely. They use it perfectly. It's never just, abused like shit. It's always at a prime moment where you go, okay, yeah.
I think what makes it work is because it feels natural. It's absolutely how it would sound coming from someone reacting to the whatever situation's going on.
100% agree. It is natural. It's not forced. They're not like, hey, throw shit in there. Or like say damn, because it means a lot to you. No, well, I wouldn't say damn. I would say, well, shit.
Yeah.
It feels good when they do it, and you don't even notice because it doesn't even, like, there's no emphasis on it most times. There's like, well, I don't know, it beats the shit out of me. And then just move on, like, right with it because
you're like, yeah, same.
Yeah, it's really good. And then Tommy Lee walks into the room with Will Smith, and he goes, so no one believes you? He goes, no.
Yeah, he's all business. Like, he's just like, question. Yeah, that was fucking weird, right? Gills. Gotcha. Question.
You got the answer I want? Okay, come with me. he's like, okay, cool. And I love that in the car ride, it's 100% because Kay already knows he's gonna fucking neuralize this guy.
Right.
So he's full disclosure the entire ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, they roll up to this pawn shop and we have fucking Monk there.
Hang on. Will Smith has a fucking beautiful line. He's like, now look, man, this guy deals in stolen Rolexes. Let me go in there and put my thing down. He goes, go put your thing down. It's
So, you know, you be you, Slick, that kind of thing. It's like, alright.
Go on, do it. We'll see what's up.
Yeah, because, like, he knows how it's going to end regardless, so just, like,
Right.
just let him have, like, his moment.
And then he goes in, he's like, hey, let me get them guns. He's like, I ain't got no guns. He's like, all right, see, I told you he ain't got no guns. And he's like, no, show him the guns. He's like, Kay, I don't deal with that shit. And then he pulls out that fucking dildo gun again.
Like, show him the imports, or I'm going to blast your head off.
I don't know why you're calling that a dildo gun unless you have,
Dude, have you ever seen a fucking vibrator? It looks exactly like a vibrator. Exactly like a vibrator with a fucking handle. It is a vibrator with a handle.
it's,
And a trigger.
it's pretty
Oh.
big, man.
Okay, I don't know what kind of women you know, but that's like standard size vibrator.
I mean, I guess he's thinking about the neuralizer. You come so hard you forget who you are.
But he like points it at him and he's like, I'm gonna blow your head off. And I love that Will Smith, without it, hey, don't do that. He's like, he'll do it. He's crazy.
But as soon as he, like, pulls the trigger, he turns into cop mode. He's like, put the gun down right now or I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, he's like, you just blew this fucking man's head off. What are you doing? He's like, you have no idea how much that stings. It's
And
just,
Will Smith is just like, the fuck?
now show him the imports or I'm gonna remove another head. And I love how he's all greasy and shit, and he's got the one eye that's crazy and the one eye that's lazy.
Crazy and lazy. I like the little detail, like, the first time you meet him, he has a full head of hair, and after he gets his head blown off, he's clean shaven and, like, nice and just fucking taken care of.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, blew all the stubble away.
I gotta get me one of those.
I gotta shave suicide.
Yeah, so say I gotta keep an eye on the obituary now.
Chandler got the wrong gun. But he ends up showing him all these guns, and he's like, you sold one of these to a what the fuck ever type of alien he is. What kind of piece of trash are you? I'm going to confiscate all these. And Will Smith's like, yeah, and I'm going to be back for those.
I'll be back about those Rolexes.
Just trying to be like the manly man.
Yeah, it's so good.
And then, of course, Kay flashy things him, and they're like they appear in some like Chinese restaurant. He tells some fucking joke. To this day, I don't even fucking know what it is, but we arrive at the punchline, and he's laughing his ass off.
But the thing is, this is where I fucking think Tommy Lee Jones, as I don't know as a human being, but as an actor, cannot do happy or funny. It feels forced. This feels forced, but it feels forced in the proper way because, as we know, Kay, this is not who he is. And so when he's sitting there laughing and he's telling this joke like, oh yeah, it was really funny. You can't handle your tequila. See you tomorrow at work, Slick. Here's your thing. And hands him a little MIB card. He seemed like Two-Face from the fucking Batman movie whenever he was in there with Jim Carrey, and it was just rough to watch.
I know this is like a super secret organization. I'm sure they can't keep all the ends tied up. There's a physical fucking business card with Men in Black embossed on it.
It's just MIB and then an address. What more can you do?
The address is pen written. Other than that, there's nothing on the card. I think the card is just like if you get one, and then it's got like the address, you know where to go.
It's like a golden ticket, I guess.
Yeah, because the guy was like, I got this card. He's like, elevator.
Where else would he have gone? Like, where else would he have been?
I mean, he was already walking towards it whenever the guy stopped him.
Well, I think that guy might have just been he looks like just like an old man that's just sitting there with a paper or whatever, but he's really like security. Somebody walks in who's not like, what the fuck do I need to do? They're like, all right, who are you? You don't need to be here.
Oh, so if you're not authorized and you go into the elevator, you wind up at the Social Security office or something like that?
The DMV.
No, like, he goes to the place, right, and he looks up, and it's like something in Social Security offices.
Yeah, so he's like, is this the right place? He's like, elevator. So he gets
I just assume it's like that AT&T building downtown that has no windows and no labeling. It's just like a yellow brick building.
Do you think that's our Men in Black headquarters?
I mean, it could be.
So he gets in the elevator and it goes down, and the backside opens up. He's like, "You're late. Glad you can join me. I'm Rip Torn. Everything I say always sounds like this."
He's just a pirate. That's all he is.
Yo ho! Have a seat. Avast!
I think Rip Torn does a really good job in this too. Like, he just plays Rip Torn, but he does a good job at it.
Now, I just want to say he plays a very calm Rip Torn, because the real Rip Torn gets so fucking hammered he breaks into a bank because he thought it was his house.
He gets so hammered and breaks into a bank, and he thought it was his house, and it happened so often the police were like, "Nah, he just thought it was his house."
Yeah. It's like, "Oh, Rip," and he's like, "Oh."
You wanna fuck your daddy?
I don't know anything about this.
He is real life, or excuse me, he was real life Patches O'Houlihan.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, you can get trashed and break into a bank and say it was your house, and people will believe you.
Oh man, but yeah, he's fantastic. He's like another anchor to this movie because everything is so fucking wild, and he's just like, "Oh, just another day at the office."
Yeah, and so the best of the best of the best are there, and they have to take a written test. And one of the guys was like, "It's because we're the best." And he goes, "Yeah, but what the hell's the test for? Like, what are we doing here?" And no one else questions it.
You've got like the best of the Marines, the best of the Army Rangers, the Navy SEALs, handful of other people, NYPD. Everybody else is in uniform, and Will Smith shows up in like
Tracksuit.
Yeah, jeans and like fucking a bright orange jacket or something.
I mean, no one's going to suspect a traffic cone.
So they got these weird little eggshell seats, like something you'd see at Google, and they don't look comfortable. And he goes, "Okay, time to start the test." And I love that everyone takes out their test booklet, and the first thing that happens, and in my head, I was like, man, that wasn't supposed to happen, but it was so perfect they left it in. I don't know if it was or it wasn't, but the first page he tries to open rips, and he just looks shocked. He's like, "Oh!" Like it's like a genuine reaction.
He looks around, see if anybody noticed, like, damn.
And then his pencil snaps in half, and it just reminded me of like that scene with fucking Arsenio Hall and Amazon Women from the Moon. Just anything that can go wrong is happening to him.
Doesn't he wind up getting like smashed by a bookshelf right at the end or whatever?
And then he falls out the window because someone keeps calling him. He's like, "I said the bitch don't live here."
But like, it's so like this bit is so supposed to be the whole fish out of water thing. Like he's sort of kind of like the least appropriate person to be there, but he makes so much sense. Like he just pulls the table up and uses it. Like that's absolutely what you would do.
Yeah, this is one of those scenes, though, like, he pulls the table up, but it's screeching on the ground the whole time, and everyone just turns around and looks at him like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
But it's of course the best thing to do, you know, given the situation. You got these guys trying to write on the fucking side of the egg or whatever.
It's more of like a logic test. What would you do, as opposed to like what's on the paper?
Oh, I definitely thought that too. Yeah.
It's like they're like every time like he does something, it cuts to Zed and he has like a smirk on his face, like, "Yeah, the kid's got some brains in the right place. You know, he's got some common sense or whatever."
And then they go down to do this shooting test, and there's all these fucking monsters in all these different poses, and Will Smith's not shooting anybody, and then he shoots one time, and we don't know what he shoots.
Yeah, everybody else is just popping off at all of these monsters. Will Smith shoots one at the very end, and it turns out that it's little Tiffany.
Yeah, Patches O'Houlihan is like, "Why, pray tell, did little Tiffany deserve to die?"
His logic's pretty fucking flawless. Yeah, this guy was just working out. How would you feel if, like, I went to the gym and somebody just start fucking shooting up the place or whatever? And this guy, he's snarling. He's not snarling. He's sneezing. He's got a tissue in his hand.
8-year-old little white girl, middle of the hood with some quantum physics books. She ain't up to no good. Or she is up to no good. You know what I mean.
I did like that as I've gotten older, and whenever he said the guy was just working out on the street lamp, I was like, I guess. But as I've gotten older, he's like, he's working out on the street lamp. I looked, that fucking monster's arms are jacked. The veins are bulging. You know, he's clearly engaging his muscles. So yeah, what he's saying is what's happening.
And that other one does have a tissue. I mean, why else would he? I mean, come on.
Like, it's one of those things in hindsight it works even better because you follow these other aliens in their like regular everyday human versions of their lives, And that's what they are. They're just fucking doing their daily whatever they're going to do.
It's really clever, and I thought that was really cool. And he goes, well, it's time for the final part of the test, the eye exam.
He kind of perked up about it, too.
Yeah, like this is my only enjoyment for the day. I'm going to fucking fricassee your brains.
Fricassee?
Fricassee, or what the fuck ever.
I'm gonna fricassee it.
Oh, he just starts fucking patting their heads down. Yes.
There's a keyboard with strings attached to these sausages. Play it.
And then after all of those tests, however many there were, Kay is just like, he was real fast. He ran down a cephalopoid or whatever. That's good enough. It doesn't matter how he did on all these, right? And
yes, mentally deficient and shot a child.
Yeah, Zed's just like, all right, I hope you're right.
Okay, we're finally to a point I have to bring up. Kay wants to hire this kid because he's physically apt. Like, he's extremely well-rounded in that case. But no one brings up how he fucking used a delivery van to get most of the way there to catch up to the dude at the beginning of the movie.
Truth. But he still ran him down. Because he had to run up how many flights of stairs to beat him up the side of that building?
Well, it wasn't stairs, it was like a circular ramp kind of thing, right?
Just the inside of the museum is just like him going around and around.
Physics.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Like, if that's the case, then why don't they just get, like, fucking Saquon Barkley or something?
Yeah, people know who he is, though. There's no deja vu after that.
I guess, yeah.
But since Will Smith has been neuralized, he's like, hey, I don't believe you about all these aliens. He's like, all right, man, don't worry about it. I'm going to get some coffee. You want some coffee? And who's in there pouring coffee? These gigantic Cuba slugs.
Those fucking worm dudes. They're like, hey, they're basically just like alien cheeches. That's all they
these
are.
guys would be
There is no
so fun to hang out with.
Hey, what's happening? Hey.
Coffee. We got black coffee, brown coffee.
Yeah.
This movie also handles like racial stereotypes, fucking racism in general. A lot how Stan Lee did with the X-Men. You know, you introduce these characters that you're into, that you're having fun with, and it's a way to just be like, hey, you can't view every creature, every species, everything as a bad guy. They're all just people, even if they're not people.
It's kind of like one of those things where you give everybody the benefit of the doubt and try to see the good in everybody.
Yeah. He lays down exactly how this started. Like, shit happened in, like, the 1950s. Started out with some, like, intergalactic refugees. They wanted to use the Earth as, like, an apolitical zone just to be outside of, like, all this intergalactic warfare or whatever. He compares it to Casablanca. You ever see Casablanca? It's like that, just without the Nazis.
Oh, okay. All right.
So the Earth is Rick's Cafe.
Play it, Stan. But instead of like a dude at the piano, it's just like, Whooplee! And Bob.
Oh yeah, the twins.
Of all of the gin joints and all of the towns and all of the...
He's like, I'll give you till sunset to think it over. And in the meantime, we get to see what's going on with old Edgar. And he's back at the barn, and the fucking exterminators come to clean up the barn. And he's like, I'm going to get rid of all these pests. He's like, pests? No pests. Let me just shut this down your throat. And he fucking...
I fucking hate how good you are at that. God damn it.
I love Edgar as a character, man. I fucking love him. And I've been... Hey! Oh! I've been doing it for fucking years.
It's great. He steals the dude's truck, and he tries to wheel in his fucking little saucer, and he just, like, rolls it up. He's like, wait, fuck, doesn't fit.
It's like too tall, and you see him stop, he's like, ah! It fucking, like, rips. You don't get to see it, but he rips, like, the corner out and pushes it in anyways, and pushes the corner back down on it.
You know what this is? Do you know what this is? Edgar is a fucking alien Beetlejuice.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe I'm just drawn to these like super weird, goofy characters.
But they're so fucking fun, though.
I'm not going to fucking disagree, because Edgar is one of my favorite points of this movie, and anytime I quote Men in Black, 9 times out of 10 it's shit that Edgar's doing.
Oh yeah, like most of the time, like I said, when I quote Men in Black, it's the sugar in water thing.
Sugar.
Like I've goofily been sitting in the my Jeep, and the wife will be coming out to the car or whatever, and she'll be looking at me. I'm over there just like just moving around all crazy with my arms wiggling, trying to act casual. I don't know how to sit.
Fucking things, because he's trying to be so goddamn casual, like leaning his arm against the thing, and he can't do it. He can't
understand how it goes there. He's like,
he
I
just
must
punch it, whatever, like the glove compartment or whatever.
He's like, how do you do this? Just struggling. And then it shows him driving into town, and once he gets to town, he starts following that guy with the jewelry store.
Oh yeah.
This guy's like, trying to get comfortable in the fucking car and not look suspicious, but it's 10 times more suspicious.
It works because like New York is probably full of just like weird characters, so nobody even bats an eye at this dude just fucking struggling
in this exterminator van with the giant ant on top, looking like fucking Dale Gribble from King of the Hill.
Wasn't his UFO just hanging out the back anyways? Like he got it in there, but he had like
it's
like a
busting out of the top. Yeah.
It's had to open up like a tin can, and then he realizes he has to drive away. He's like, burr, burr. Oh, and he just rolls away
because he works so hard to get like casually comfortable. He's like, oh, this worked. This is the pose, and then as soon as he's posed, he drives off. He's like, God damn it! Oh.
So while that's going on, like Jay finally gets like inducted as an agent. They erase his fucking entire history. They even erase his fingerprints or whatever. Which I guess they just burn him the fuck off. That's super high tech, I guess.
That was fucking funny because he's
that
like,
seems like a real quick decision for him too. Like, does he not have any like friends or family? He's got a, I don't know. Like, seems like a quick decision.
Parents go to file a missing persons report. They're like, that person doesn't exist.
Well, I mean, if it's like the late '90s or whatever, like mid to late '90s, like shouldn't he have a honey?
We talking about Fresh Prince here? I'm lost.
I mean, that's what they called like girlfriends or whatever, like that, or chicken heads or something like that.
Chicken heads. They show him some space gadgets. Finds out that like how they make their money is from selling the rights to space gadgets.
Oh man, a small thing I don't know if anybody noticed. Like he says that the MIB has like the patent for Velcro, and fucking Will knocks that little super ball around the place or whatever. And when Kay catches it and puts it back in its little holder, it makes a little Velcro sound. Just, I'm just like, alright, that's cute. You get one.
Velcro is a brand. It's called Hook and Loop.
All right.
You're just that guy in the comments. Worst podcast ever.
Oh no! Don't make me into the fucking dude from Simpsons.
Comic book guy, whatever. So we find out that they can actually track the location of every alien in the world. There's about 1,500 of them. Yeah. And then, during all this, you get the suit, get the fingerprints burned off.
This will be the last suit you ever wear, which is a lie because he changes his suit at the goddamn end of the movie.
I noticed that. He looks like a fucking, Russian Orthodox priest for whatever reason.
Oh no, he's just walking around New York. He knows. Dude.
This is the last you'll ever wear. He's like, the hell it is.
So then Zed tells Kay, we've got an unauthorized landing in upstate New York. They're not,
it sounds like you're having trouble, but I totally believe that's how he rattles off his lines, like the first draft or whatever.
Yeah. So he's like, I need you to go get, what's the guy's name, Reggie?
No, Reggie's in New Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where he's got to go.
Yeah.
So you got Rip Torn's character Zed. He's like, why don't you take the rookie up there to deal with Reggie? We're not running some kind of intergalactic kegger.
But you know who is running an intergalactic kegger? It's fucking me.
Dang.
From New Holland Brewing Company. It's called The Poet.
Ooh, I didn't even know it.
Yeah. It's an oatmeal stout from, I want to say they're from somewhere in Michigan. Yeah, New Holland, Michigan.
I was going to say, if it's bottled in Flint, don't. Alright? You're important to us.
Yeah.
This is a 5.8% ABV. They call it an oatmeal stout. Full, absolutely full-bodied. This is a thick beer with 2 C's. Real, I'm not going to say sweet, but it's not dry. You get like a full mouthfeel here, full of roasty notes. This is a good stout. I absolutely love this beer. It's something that I've had before, but you actually have to cross state lines to get it here. And I would do that. Yeah, it's good. It's real good.
A mouthful of Edgar.
Hey!
Yeah.
Oh, but while he's drinking, these guys are showing up on the bridge, and they got like this little car pull over. And this scene is one of those scenes too where you just kind of have to suspend your disbelief because Kay has him pulled over. He's like, "What are you trying to do, Reggie?" He's like, "Nothing." He's like, "What are you trying to do?" He's like, "Look, man, I'm trying to leave. My wife's having a baby. Didn't you see?" And then the camera pans 2 inches to the right, and there's a woman in the back seat. Just in late. Kay's like,
you would have for sure noticed that, like on the come up.
Willfully ignoring it.
Kay was so dismissive of it. He's like, "Hey, let's come over here and talk. Jay, fucking deal with that."
And he's like, "Oh damn, Kay, something's peeking."
Something's peeking in here.
I even love his little bit of advice. He's like, "What do I do?" or whatever. He's like, "Hey, all you have to do is catch."
But in the meantime, this fucking vagina tentacle is grabbing Will Smith and just slinging him about.
Yeah, and then like it pulls him in the car. He's like, "Excuse me, miss," very calmly, and then he goes continue to get beaten, and he gets thrown out, and then the baby comes shooting out like, and he lands like, or he catches, literally what Kay said, catches the baby.
Fucking Kay though, he's like, "Congratulations, man, you got a squid."
To be fair, it's a pretty cute squid.
It is. It starts sucking one of its tentacles like a little thumb.
You think that's a tentacle that was just slinging Will Smith all about? Just over the car and just slinging about?
That's their junk. Just space junk.
I don't know how much I believe you about intergalactic genitalia.
Oh no, so it was like a Jeopardy thing. It's like, "Hey, I'll take intergalactic genitalia." Audio clues.
Something's peeking! That would be the vaginal tentacle.
Ugh. Christ. It's like a...
He gets a clue from Reggie that there's something going on. He's like, okay, time to go check the hot sheets, which are the fucking, grocery store tabloids.
Yeah, like Bad Boy and all that stuff.
Yeah. And I love that the fucking one says, "Alien stole my husband's skin." And they go, "There we go."
Gothic, like a fucking skeleton.
Yeah, and so they go there, and he goes, "You got to give him a minute. It helps with the spiel."
Let her go ahead and get the wrong impression.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Can I help you?" He's like, "Oh, we're the FBI or some stupid shit." And he goes, "Is this some kind of joke?" He goes, "No, ma'am. As far as I know, the FBI does not have a sense of humor."
Kay has like the best lines in the movie. He's so fucking flat.
There's a fucking tack. And then they go in, they sit down, and they get some fucking lemonade.
But Kay is so sharp and so aware of the situation. Like, he knows about the sugar thing, so he doesn't even take a sip of the lemonade, because he knows it's going to be bitter as fuck.
Yeah, she ain't got no sugar. Why would she still make lemonade if she doesn't have sugar?
Because she's a simple farmer, okay?
She's a simple kind of bitch.
Is she a farmer, or is she a farmer's wife?
Man, no wonder Edgar was fucking fed up with her. Making fucking lemonade, no sugar.
And she's like, "It took my husband's skin, warm like an..." And she doesn't say Edgar. She says Edgar. Like she's too dumb to pronounce the D. Just Egger suit. Like an Egger suit.
And she fucking laughs about it.
Yeah, she's like, "Y'all gonna think I'm crazy."
Well, cause you're crazy.
And then they neuralize her. And Will Smith goes, "That's the best you can come up with?" He goes, "Now listen, you need to go down to Bloomberg, get you a dress, get you something done with your face, and hire a decorator to clean up in here, because damn." So fucked up.
I just love how he was just fed up about Kay's little spiel. Like, it was so simple, but no, you have to have like this happy ending and everything.
Yeah, I mean, because why wouldn't you? Like, you could say, "Oh, he left you," or you could say, "You left him, you kicked him out,"
I mean, at this point, Kay's been giving women brain cancer since the 60s. Whatever.
Frickin' seeing him.
Oh, so, the jeweler and his cat go to this Russian cafe and meet with the tall, lanky fellow that looks real weird that we had earlier in the thing.
It's Lurch.
Yeah, Lurch and Rosenberg, they go out for some pierogies.
Yeah.
master of disguise Edgar is just has this gross ass fucking waiter outfit on, and he's just like, oh, Ted just on his break, and he's fucking folded in half under the fucking thing.
Yeah, and we've also got, I don't know if you all have seen it, the granddad from Everything is Illuminated as the chef. All right, let's move on.
It's gonna sound like I cut the silence.
But then he goes out and he sets the plates down, and when he does, all these roaches come out of his sleeve into the pierogies.
Yeah, like Rosenberg's like, hey, you can kill me, but you'll never get the galaxy, which is the MacGuffin of this movie, by the way. It's just like this miniature galaxy in a marble.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet. We don't know that. I mean, we know that because, like, literally everyone's seen this movie.
Spoilers. Man.
But, fuck it.
If anyone listens to us, we always give spoilers, so it doesn't matter.
Spoilers, they're spoilers.
So he's like, you're right about one thing. And then these fucking tentacle stingers come out and sting him in the neck. Now stay with me. They get stung in the neck. We learn in a moment, whenever they go to the morgue, that they are tiny aliens piloting these humanoid bodies that aren't real.
At least the one is.
Well, I'm assuming the other one's the same type of alien. They're speaking the same language.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't think one type of alien can use another type of alien's language?
No, I'm being
racist.
Very racist. So
at the end of the day, they both speak English, so whatever.
True. So they get stung in the neck. In the neck. Now, regardless if they're both the creature or not, one of them has nothing to do with the neck. He is a tiny alien living in the face compartment like it's its own spaceship, and it kills him. I didn't get that.
Well, maybe the vessel is also life support. Like, they're not meant to live in our atmosphere or whatever.
Science gone science.
Yeah. This is where it gets weird. They go to the morgue because, that's where the body's going, and the cat goes with the body. And
why are they allowing this cat in the morgue?
Because that cop that dropped the body off was a complete douchebag.
But it was
like,
how he did it.
Yeah, there's a problem with the cat. Signs. What's the problem with the cat? Oh, what's your problem?
This corpse has no rectum. That's the problem.
He's got no ass. He's got no ass.
Oh no! But they show up and they're like, "Hey, we're going to investigate what's going on here." And she goes, "Yeah, there's something really weird. Come here." And you're a doctor. Let me show you what's wrong. They put on gloves and they reach forearm deep into this fucking corpse. And she's basically grinding up on him like, "You feel that?" And he's like, "Yeah." It's just like, why is it so sexual?
She's very forward with Jay.
Yeah, like, she's totally into this whole morgue situation. I think she's getting off on this.
I mean, I can get with it. I mean...
Well, right at the end, just before he had to, like, go by and talk to Kay for a second, she was about to say something like, hey, sometimes at night I like to... He's like, whoa, wait a minute, I gotta go talk to fucking my consigliere over here. Okay,
yeah, I was curious where that was going. I was like, what the fuck is she talking about?
He's walking away and she's biting her lip. I was like, woo!
Yeah, and then, we get a quintessential face-off. They come back, there's a staple on the ear, they touch it, and it's like... and comes off like the head in fucking Total Recall. That would be like, weeks!
And then we get this tiny little alien that looks like Susan Sarandon. And,
oh, it does! Excellent.
He's dying. This tiny little alien is dying. He's gasping his last breaths. To prevent war, the galaxy is on Orion's...
And he came.
Because he was fucking watching old girl give Jay a HJ right there. Just like, what I like to do? What's that? And she's like... just starts fucking whacking it. But yeah, the little alien tells him it's on Orion's belt. They assume that means the constellation.
The alien says, clearly, the galaxy is on Orion's belt. They assume belt.
No, he said belt, and he, shook his head like, yeah, you got it, before he fucks off.
Yeah, but belt isn't even the right fucking word. That is a collar.
What?
It is on Orion's collar.
I get it. I get it. Belt, collar, yeah.
Who the fuck says that a cat or a dog is wearing a belt? What's that around? You don't go buy a dog belt, you buy a dog collar. You don't buy a cat belt, you buy a cat collar.
But fucking Constellation, Orion's
get
belt,
that.
you know?
I get the play on words, but it's a fucking cat's collar.
It's a triple entendre.
No.
Like that time I asked Michael Bay, like, hey, wouldn't it be easier just to train astronauts to go into space to drill? He told me to fuck myself.
Or why doesn't he just say it's on the cat's cuff?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why didn't he say that?
I don't know. Fucking
Or was he like, it's on my cat's, and then he looked over at Will Smith and was like, blah, blah, blah. He's like,
No.
it's a racist alien.
It's in my cat's butt.
Oh.
God.
But then fucking Kenny just starts neuralizing the shit out of old girl.
Like, so quickly, Will Smith doesn't even have time to put the glasses up to his face. He's like, oh, stop it!
Dude, that is such a good fucking thing that, like, Kay whips it up so fast that Will Smith's character is like, oh shit, and they're still folded. He just presses them against his face.
It's like, would you stop flashy thinging her?
Aren't you worried about giving her brain cancer? Never heard of it.
Oh. But then, you know, we cut to fucking Edgar, and he grabbed this thing off the table after he killed the guys that he thought was the galaxy, and it was actually just diamonds. He's beating it all over the thing, and he dumps them out, and he's in there like, oh! Just so disappointed.
And he takes another fit where he's just punching the shit out of, like, the console of the car. or the
Yeah,
truck.
but he's doing it so, like, his arms are just exploding outwards and back and forth. It's so mechanical that it's beautiful.
He's just, I mean, at this point, like, his skin's starting to rot, like, as we discussed earlier, so he's looking pretty bad, and he's getting really fishy.
Like, it's a movie, but he looks like he stinks.
It's
You're not
New
wrong.
York. But speaking of him, that's when they have, like, a little crossways, because they have the same idea to go check out Rosenberg's shop. Edgar gets there first, and he trashes the joint.
Yeah, and, you know, right after Jay catches Kay using satellite imagery to, like, zoom in on his ex-love life, like a scene from fucking Blade Runner. Enhance. Enhance. Did you guys notice the computer, by the way? It looked like the most it could handle was Minesweeper.
Minesweeper was the shit.
Yeah. But they're like, oh man, what are we gonna do? He's like, Kay, give that boy a gun. And so he gives him this tiny little gun that looks like it has a sewing needle on the end of it. And he's like,
Fucking
that's
noisy cricket.
Yeah, and Edgar, in the meantime, is in there like the fucking Hulk, like, Edgar, smash! Just breaking up the jewelry joint.
I'm gonna go wreck up the place.
Oh, I'm gonna wreck it!
I'm gonna grape you in the mouth.
Oh, no.
In the meantime, Edgar's truck is getting towed while he's in there smashing up the jewelry store.
He's out there, and he sees that he's getting towed, and he goes charging out, and he's like, that's my truck! And the guy's like, yeah, well, tell him that at the impound lot. And he pulls out that shotgun that he took from Edgar, and the guy's like, please, and pulls out that giant 44 Magnum, and then fucking shoots him anyways.
Like right out of his armpit or something.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't the guy just fucking point the gun at Edgar? Like, he had, like, a shotgun pointed right at him. This fucking obese Kid Rock, you know, he's fucking in danger.
And he just fucking blasts him, and then, you know, Jay and Kay turn around, they see fucking Edgar just power walking all crazy.
Fucking trying to sneak away.
It's so hard to describe, but it's almost like if that classic scene of Bigfoot, if anyone's ever seen that old footage, it's like if Bigfoot were trying to sneak but had a broken leg and a stroke. It was beautiful. And he's just like sneaking off.
And then Jay goes into cop mode again, whips out his noisy cricket, and just blows a huge fucking hole through the wall.
Dude, that thing slings him backwards 15 feet every time he shoots it.
The recoil is the kind of thing you see in shows that have, like, those ballistic gel torsos or whatever just getting fucking mutilated. So I feel like in real life, his fucking arm would have ripped off or something.
Yeah, if it's going to throw you back that far, the impact into your palm alone is going to travel into your shoulder, and then it's going to probably dislocate it.
I mean, my God, he shot, and then he was forcefully pushed through a windshield of a car.
Yeah, like, by a lot.
I feel like his pelvis should have been in that fucking passenger seat. And then when Kay pulls him out, he just, like, falls apart.
Yeah, he's like, oh my God, I need surgery. And Kay's like, look at the light.
Yeah, this thing just...
Nope, he didn't make it. Oh. But, you know, they're like, we got his truck. You can't be shooting that stuff out in public. And he's like, listen, man, there's an Arcalian whatever out there, and we got to stop it. And he goes, look, there's always a threat to human life. The only way that people get by is that they don't know about it, so fucking chill.
And then it cuts to, like, a bunch of old people just like, oh, we sold everything.
Yep, and then it shows that fucking same truck from the beginning of the film rolling up. They're like, everybody, I need your attention. Look right here, please.
We gotta come in here and wipe your entire brains out.
Hey, everybody, come over here for a free eye exam.
Free?
And
That's
that's
my favorite price.
They got to go get all the info they can, but they've only got one info vendor left in town.
It's fucking riffraff.
I have that in my notes.
From Rocky Horror.
Horror, yeah.
Just
Yeah,
the
100%.
pug.
There's a little pug sitting next to Riff Raff, and it turns out the alien is actually the pug. What a twist! Written by M. Night Shyamalan.
No, the twist is what Kay was doing to that fucking dog, trying to get information out of him.
Shake a puppy syndrome.
Good lord.
It's okay.
And Will
It goes
Smith-
my friend Money.
Yeah, I was like, Will Smith trying to just calm everybody down around him, just like, whoa, hey guys, it's alright.
And I love how, by shaking this dog and looking around a little bit, 2 + 2 = cat has the galaxy on his collar.
Eureka. You know, what are you gonna do?
And then we got the mortician, and she's got the cat, and she sees the galaxy inside the collar, and then she turns into Smeagol from fucking Lord of the Rings. She's like, my process!
She's like, ooh.
And then,
Shine.
boy, was I excited to see that David Cross worked there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
his
David
little
Cross is just
cameo.
running the whole fucking thing.
What's up, Farmer John?
Edgar's like, hey, I got a friend of mine who had a cat, and he came in, and I'd like that cat back.
It means the world to me.
And like, he goes into full business mode or whatever, like bureaucracy. He's like, yeah, I need proof of whatever, I need a picture, ID, you know, give me all that stuff.
All in the meantime, he's like swatting these flies, and fucking Edgar's like, don't. He's like, don't what? He's like, don't. And he smashes another one, and all these roaches come crawling out. And David Cross comes up with the 2 cans of Raid.
He's not even disgusted. He just goes into like, I need to kill these roaches mode.
Yeah, and then you hear like that weird like noise, and I guess that's like the roach mouth coming out of Edgar.
And like, it's kind of weird because that's the only time he does that. He just like sticks him to the ceiling.
Yeah, like from fucking Aliens. Like, is
Oh.
there going to be a giant roach that bursts out of his chest later?
Gross. Don't.
So fucking Jay goes down, and he's like, hey, Kay, you wait here. Let me talk to her. You don't need to be fucking fricasseeing her brain. It's going to take me 2 seconds to get the info I need. I'm going to take the cat. I'm going to leave. He's like, all right, you got 2 minutes.
Yeah, he's like, give me 5 minutes. You got 2.
He goes in, and he's like, hey, I need that cat. She's like, I don't know where the cat is, but I got something else I'd like to show you. And he goes, all right, look, you need to slow it down. She's like, no, I got something you really want to see. He goes, no, I'm going to see it.
I'ma see it. It's your pussy.
He's like, slow your roll. We ain't got to go that quick.
He's just like, damn.
There's something, and she's like hard pointing under the table at this point.
And like
And he's
pointing so hard, even Edgar's just like, wait a minute.
Yeah, he catches on, and then like the cat jumps on it, and he grabs the cat. He's like, I got the galaxy.
And like the back and forth between Jay and the mortician is like, what are you trying to do? Is like, are you coming at me all crazy like that? You? And then Edgar's like, both of you to shut up, bro.
You're both disgusting.
Yeah.
You're so far down me on the evolutionary ladder, it's a joke. So the bug guy, Edgar, he gets the galaxy and the girl, and he's got mad ups apparently.
Oh yeah, he just like jumps right up that window shaft or whatever.
Yeah, then he throws her in the car. He's like, you're going to take me here. And she's like, no, I'm not. And then he shows her his, like, mouth mandibles or whatever the fuck those are. And she's like, okay.
And I like this little bit right here. Like, Jay is still in the mode of like, I have to do something to save the day. So he tries to chase down this taxi. Kay sees him running out, being all crazy. And he's like, he can't leave the Earth in a taxi cab.
And then he's like, well, where are they going to go? He's like, do those still work? And he's like, 2 + 2 equals, they're going to use those things.
And it's a nice little thing, like, setup and payoff,
Yeah.
Plus, filming in Queens is probably really cheap. Barely an inconvenience.
I mean, ask Paul Blart. He's the king there.
May he rest in peace.
But this was really funny. He was like,
No.
So the fucking Edgar Roach guy is like, she's like, you gonna let me go? He's like, no, it's a long trip. I'm gonna need a snack. And she sure is a snack. She is just legs all through this movie. That's all she's for.
Legs that go all the way up.
And legs that go all the way up.
Like, the fellows put the 2 and 2 together, and they have to race all the way to Queens, and obviously New York traffic is a bunch of horse shit. So, before in the movie, like, Jay almost presses, like, the little red button on the stick shift, and so he finally gets to press it, and it turns, like, the MIB mobile into some rocket car.
Yeah, and they're shooting through the fucking tunnel like crazy. They're, like, upside down and zipping all over the place, and Will Smith's like, hey! And then they put in the 8-track of Elvis, and he goes, oh, he goes, Elvis isn't dead, he just went home.
That's actually one of the things that I remember thinking is really cute from the first time I saw it when I was like 12 in the theater. I was like, oh man, maybe that's real.
Oh, he was an alien the whole time. But
Yeah.
the whole bit kind of reminded me of H.I. from Raising Arizona. That'd be something he would do.
Elvis ain't dead, he just went home.
Yeah.
And then, they'd be like, hi, I don't know if I want to keep living this life with you, and if I do, I don't know if I want to keep listening to Elvis with you. She's like, okay, man.
Let's go get our cockroach.
And that's exactly what happens. As he climbs up and he gets inside of his little fucking spaceship, he drops his snack in a tree because she's struggling?
No, I think she's just like talking so much that she's just like, I don't want to have to deal with this. Get away from me. Go in this tree.
Yeah, there's probably some like intergalactic 7-Eleven he can stop at, whatever.
I'm sure.
Get some people to eat, no biggie.
Or some sugar water.
And then the spaceship takes off. It goes over the Mets game. Now, mind you, there's a throw to this later at the end of the film when they're looking at the funny papers or whatever, the National Enquirer and all that. And it says, the spaceship made me miss the ball. Like, this dude who misses a fucking home run hit or what the fuck ever, it lands on his head. The only reason he didn't catch it because he was looking up at a spaceship. There are thousands of people at this game, and that spaceship is beyond visible, yet he's the only person that noticed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's fine. He got hit in the head. That's all people are watching. It's like, nuke!
True.
And everyone's like, oh, holy shit!
Got him good!
Knock the fuck out!
And then they grab up some guns and they shoot the spaceship down, and there's that really cool scene that I thought was fucking great.
That set piece is fucking gorgeous. I know you agree with me.
Phenomenal.
It's like the best way. It's something about like really good miniatures. Holy shit, I bring it up so often, but it's just so satisfying to see something real get blown up.
And as you see it slamming to the earth and it's kicking up all the dirt and it's coming at Will Smith and it's coming at Tommy Lee, it's about to wipe him out, and Will Smith is standing there trying to look tough with Tommy Lee, and it keeps cutting back and forth to them and the ship, and it's like the third time it does it. It's really fucking close, and the dirt's like really getting close to him, and you see Will Smith's resolve kind of break. He looks to Tommy Lee like, oh shit, we gonna move? And Tommy Lee still has that dead stare like, nope.
Nope, cool guys don't need to move, but like you can really tell Will Smith is having some doubts about how cool he was.
Yeah, he's like, shoot,
fuck out here.
Yeah.
And this is a really cool throwback to the beginning, since Kay was there when that alien stepped off for the first time with flowers. He was there again, this time not without, a present. Just this present was a gun.
Surprise.
Yeah, that's the same.
Well, it could have been Terminator. He could have had the flowers with the gun.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But then, like, Edgar rolls out of his spaceship, and he's like, "Oh, god damn it!"
Yeah, I was about to go home, and this would have been all over with.
And I don't is there a reason Edgar is so gloaty right here? Because he's about to die too.
Well, he knows, like, he wins either way. Like, the whole point of that was just to take the galaxy away from the Klingons or Reculans or whatever they were called.
The Arkellians, yeah.
Yeah, the Arkeli.
Yeah, they only had X amount of time to get it done.
Yeah, we've left that part out. Like, they have like an hour to get this to reacquire this little galaxy thing, and the bug swallowed it. So he's trying to get out. If he gets out, Earth explodes. You know, he's good to go with the galaxy, and he's gonna destroy the Arkellians with, I don't know, nuclear energy or some shit like that.
Well, so it's like, hey, put your hands behind your head. It's like, go put my hands behind my head. Okay. And he just tears off his Edgar skin, and yeah. I have to say, this fucking giant cockroach bug still looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
It looks fun, but it doesn't look scary in the sense that, it would give a child a nightmare. It's scary in the Disney sense of, like, this is your enemy. Ooh, it's so bad.
No, it looks like a video game boss fight.
He looks kind of juicy. That's what makes it weird, but still good.
Yeah, he does look, like, moist.
Does he look thick?
No. I mean, technically, yes, because Will Smith does grab onto his big, thick thorax.
You see that bug booty?
Yeah, he almost did make it.
But no, really, what good does it do him to just get blown up along with the galaxy on Earth?
There are 4 trillion more of him. He already said that, in just his family. He's just there to make sure that these fucks get exterminated. And if
I thought the whole point was to get the galaxy to power, to have enough power to exterminate the Arkellian.
Yeah, but if he died, he kind of wins anyways because the planet's destroyed.
I don't get it.
It's like out of spite. It's not like his plan. It's just like, fuck you.
I feel like the arch nemesis of the bugs isn't us. It's the Arkellians.
No, that's not the case. That's not what it means. What I'm trying to say is, like, even if he dies, everybody else on the planet dies. Out of spite, he kind of wins. Like, I didn't get my way, but neither did you.
I don't know. I'm not buying it.
To him, he loses himself and the galaxy, which he just evaporates a galaxy, which is fucking insane. And the Arkellians, or whatever the fuck they are, they're going to exterminate Earth. And all that his people lose is him. So in the payoff of things, he's fucking winning.
So anyways, he eats their guns, and Kay's like, I want my gun back. And he's like, hey, eat me. And he does.
Eat me!
Eat me! Eat me! Just so angry about it.
He's like, okay.
Jay turns around all freaked out and looks up at Bill Murray. He's like, he ate Kay! He's like, was he swallowed or chewed? And he's like, swallowed!
I hate how that comes back. No, I love it. And, like, Jay's just, like, fucking flabbergasted, and so is the mortician. Like, what the fuck? They just ate a whole fucking K. And so, like...
A whole fucking K.
Okay.
And, like, he's like, okay, that was weird, crazy, right? So, but I still have to try my best to keep him on the planet. So he's just trying everything. He, like, tries to pick up a branch, and he's immediately, like, kicked to the side.
Yeah, he's, like, swinging a little stick at him.
And he just gets stiff-armed, just... he gets knocked flat. He tries to stab him with, like, a little chunk of the globe, and he gets scared away. But the one thing that keeps him on the island, he gets smashed into a dumpster, has a bunch of cockroaches in it, and he steps on one. He's like, hurry!
He's like, oh, the big bad bug got a soft spot. And, I mean, think about it. You're stepping on his fucking people and crushing them. Yes. It'd be like if, you were sworn to protect human beings as a whole, and he's just sitting there fucking crushing them left and right. You'd be like, no, quit it.
Okay, but if this world is going to die, all of those bugs are going to die anyway. Like, if he's so protective of his species that he's going to, like, come back for them to, like, I don't know, beat up Will Smith while he's crushing 2 or 3 of them, like, why isn't he making a better effort to save them from the actual end of the planet?
Well, it's the fact that...
Movie's got a movie, that's why.
Well, the thing is, he's so, like, easily agitated, and he's already pissed off that, like, this guy fucked up his plan to begin with, so, like, why not just, like, have, like, a mano-y-mano kind of thing? I think that's what they were going for.
Mono-y-mano?
Just, like, he starts smacking Yeah, he starts smashing bugs. He's like, all right, gloves come off. All right, let's go. You know, like.
And then he's got that fucking great line. You need to ease up out my face before something bad happens to you. And he's just like, click, clack. Too late.
Too late.
And gets shot in half.
Yeah, it explodes that trimmer slime.
Yeah, fucking K from inside activates his gun, explodes the bug. Everybody covered in bug juice. K comes out. I wanted my gun.
Yeah, he's like, why'd you do that? I like this gun.
Yeah, it's a good gun. Even though he's never going to use it again, we find out.
And they have some like really quality bullshit between each other, like, you know, kind of like buddy cops or whatever. And all the while in the background, you see the top half of Edgar just like crawling around, inching towards him.
Yeah, and then it like lurches up to eat Jay in this sweet little bonding moment between the two of them.
Yeah, we get like a last second like, Wah!
Yeah, like in the classic horror movie where Jason's not dead, you know, he's always got to come back. And then, blow, they blow up all over again. And this time it's the mortician leg chick, and she's like, I'm a hero too with my big, deep voice.
The mortician
of Minnesota.
The mortician leg chick. All right. I think she's a medical examiner.
Well, she's Agent L for leg.
Nice.
Is that what she actually is? I haven't seen the second one.
I don't know. But we do wind up back at MIB headquarters since I saved the day. And somehow they got de-gooed on the way there. Probably like an hour drive. And like... and then Kay's just like, hey, he pulls out his neuralizer, and Jay's like, whoa, she's been zapped enough. Can she like have a night of like no brain cancer? And he's like, no, this was for me. For whatever reason. Stars look pretty. Zap me, boy.
Yeah, pretty much the same spiel that D gave him earlier in the movie. They're beautiful, aren't they? The stars. Yeah.
That's very Nicolas Cagey. The stars, they're so beautiful. Now zap me.
Flashy thing me. I don't want to remember the
After that, he gets neuralized, and to harken back to the fact that Jay likes to give people happy endings, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Kay, his tablet reads that he woke up from a 35-year-long coma to be with his lost loved one.
Yeah, you see him with his, the lady that he was spying on earlier.
But this is the point that I was talking about. This has been like literally, Kay even says, not bad for your second night on the job. So this is day 3 for Will Smith. Yeah. And he's already running shit at MIB. He's already got a partner he is training, and he is somehow beyond knowledgeable at this point.
Well, yeah, he's learned all the ropes from Kay.
No, he's even that happened. She was like, well, something's going on, right? He goes, yeah, we'll get with Dennis Rodman. He's from that planet.
It's like the first thing you do, right? Like, you get in this organization, you're like, all right, let's see who's who. Because you know, like, Sylvester Stallone and, like, Michael Jackson are aliens.
You are completely right. That would be the first thing anyone did. You would sit down and you would type in Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, human. Yeah. Sylvester Stallone. Alien. Fucking knew it. Who's next?
Fucking knew it.
Yeah. Because, like, they were on the screen of the TV, like, and they showed, like, there's 1,500 people that are aliens, blah, 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 blah. And fucking got Sly up there hanging out, like, yeah, you know what I'm doing.
Here's one right here. His name's Tom Green. Daddy, would you like some sausage?
No! So, Men in Black.
Woo! Ha-ha!
Right. Honestly, pretty phenomenal. This is entertaining from start to finish. Will Smith is fantastic. Tommy Lee Jones is fantastic. All the other satellite characters are fantastic. This is a solid watch.
I agree. I have nothing to add. This is a movie that holds up through time, I guess, so far. Like, the effects are kind of here and there sometimes, but you're not here to watch the computer effects. You're here to watch the back and forth between J and K. And it's probably, like, even though it's not what it's supposed to be, it's probably one of the best buddy cop movies of all time.
Will Smith has this charisma that lasts through the whole thing, and that charisma is worth watching, like, regardless of what else is going on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still like this movie. I've always liked this movie. It has a few weak points that we pointed out. It's got a few plot holes, again, that we pointed out. But the overall product holds up so well, and I think it will for a long time to come.
If you want to watch a fun movie, this is a fun movie.
There you have it. Men in Black from 1997. If you have anything to say about the cast or the movie itself, leave them in the comments below.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that little bell icon on the right. So, is it on the right? Yeah, it's on the right. So you know next time we've got another one of these coming.
So make sure you follow us on all of our different social media accounts. We got that Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter. We got a new Reddit account. Make sure you guys check that out. We got an administrator that keeps stuff pumping out there for you guys. So make sure that you check it out, or we're going to wear you like an Edgar suit.
Hurry!